peace, peace, peace. Our topic today is I am the destroyer of karma. And also another line was there, I didn't give it. And the topic, I am a French colony. So, this is to be understood, Sri Ramakrishna saying this in a very mystical term, talking about the purpose of his advent, the glory of his life which he has left behind, his mission to redeem the whole universe. We know that incarnations come every time with a great mission. They have no need of their own, but only for destroying the negativities, the sin, the ignorance of people who are sinking and drowning into the world where so much suffering and pain they are experiencing. Here Sri Ramakrishna gives a declaration, and that declaration is that he is saying, I have come to redeem you. I am a river where if you sink or plunge, then your all karmas will pass out. As Ramakrishna gave the example, that the sins run away from a person who takes a dip into the holy Ganga. Holy Ganga is what? It's the infinite glacier in the Himalayas, which is difficult for ordinary human being to conceive and go and touch. It's so vast that ordinary human personality cannot withstand that. There may be extraordinary 1 or 2 person who can have that. But when that infinite, stainless, pure, conscious and bliss, the glacier of joy and blessings, melts and then in the form of stream comes down, which is called Ganga, and so many rivers, but we are mentioning here Ganga. And then it goes to the door to door, from highest flights of Himalayas, down, 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 coming to the land where people can irrigate. Irrigation, their needs, their services, the infinite, unreachable absolute truth has come to the door of everyone. And moreover, without giving up its inherent power, that inherent power of redemption, giving them freedom. That is not lost. As in the absolute infinite glacier in the Himalayas in the top, so we touch the Gangotri, where the Ganga starts, the origin of Mother Ganga, the molten consciousness, molten Brahman, coming down as Ganga. Then what happens? It melts, but it flows, and down and down and down it comes to we people who cannot reach there. But the important point is that its potential strength of purity, of freedom, giving freedom, is not lost at all. That's why Sri Ramakrishna said that when a man touches the Ganga, holy Ganga, all sins will leave him instantly. Therefore, if one can plunge there and not come out, then sin will never touch again. But we come out into other worldliness. we once enter into, take a deep or touch in our meditation, in our prayer, little touch once moment, and then we come back. When we come out again into the worldliness, all the sins again jump upon us. But what Sri Ramakrishna says, I am a river, only you plunge into it, and all your karmas will go away. You need not have to worry about how much sins. Then like Girish Ghosh said, had I known that he will come, what sin I have committed, I would have done 100 times more of that. My God, he is called in the embodiment of all bohemian behaviors. And he is saying, what have I done? Had I known that you would come, I would have done 100 times or more than that. That's the point. Sri Ramakrishna is assuring that this is the same infinite Brahman has come down into the form of incarnation. And this incarnation, only one purpose is to redeem everyone. Even you are not asking for that. You are not wanting to that. So that leads to the second question, Ami Faras Danga. I am like a French colony. It is very mystical word. You have to understand in the context of India. During that time, Sri Ramakrishna was there. So there are British colony, French colony, as also was the Portuguese. The entire India was ruled by, captured by these forces, these powers. So what was happening, if anyone commits any crime, say in the British colony, and tries to escape, the border lines are not that strong in those days. In West Calcutta, if someone committed some crime and could escape to Chandannagar, it is not very far, it's so close. By any means enter into the territory of that colony of the French colony, which is in Chandannagar, then British police has nothing to do. He'll be free soul in Chandannagar moving around, and no one can catch him. So though we have our past karma, it leads to a place where there is no more bondage. It leads to the freedom. That is the indication. I am karmanasha. If anyone plunges into my thought and ideas and my principles, then he will achieve this. I will destroy all the karmas, all the past, all the bad, good, whatever he has done, not good also, bad and good, everything will be wiped out. And they will understand, I am the French colony. Where the British, we did here is just an example he has given, he has not mentioned about other. Just we have to take examples are very specific to understand its deep meaning, what is it intends. It intends to say that all the activities, right or wrong done, not in this life, not other life and other life and other life, infinite number of lives are behind. Hinduism and Buddhism both believe that it is all because of the karma we are here. We suffer so much. Why? Because we have our karma and we have to wipe out. But that karma, to wipe out it may take lives and lives and lives, hundreds and thousands of births may be needed. But if one can, when God incarnates, this is a special concessional age. He attracts us. He is also attracting us. If anyone can catch that by God's grace, by his own karma, and get drawn into it, he will be saved forever, nothing to worry about. That's a great promise. And he is saying that it leads to a land of freedom. That soul will reach the land of freedom without any without the punishment of the bad karmas to linger long into the life and life struggle of this life. So that's why it is mystically Sri Ramakrishna used this word. This is Swami Turiyanandaji's memory and memoirs of Swami Turiyananda. In that discussion it was available. It's not available in the Gospel. But we find in the Gospel one thing. We find in the Gospel one thing very unique. There is a story that Dr. Mahendra Sarkar, the great eminent doctor of the time, his everyday fees was how much? The Ramakrishna's monthly salary was 7 rupees. His fee was about $40 or $50 rupees that time. That means his one visit will cost about so much of amount. That doctor was coming to see Sri Ramakrishna and to take care of his health. But after 1 or 2 visits, he stopped taking. First he took the, what is called the fees, medical doctor's fees due of the visit. But he fell in love with Ramakrishna. And then he comes and he gives medicine and other thing, very little, how are you, this, that, and then gets involved into Sri Ramakrishna's conversation and other things. And so he spends sometimes long hours in conversation with Sri Ramakrishna. And he will say, this throat is not good, so don't talk to anybody. Only when I come, only talk to me. That means he is saying that he is so much attracted that he spends hours even. So one day Ramakrishna was seated there, Girish Ghosh was there, and Aim was there, many other devotees. And discussion continued for long hours. Then Girish is a strong believer that Ramakrishna is incarnation. He can redeem everyone. He is not ordinary human being. He is a good guy. But Dr. Sarkar says he is a good guy. Why are you making him a god? Why are you making avatar? He will not accept. But Girish has found faith, he will say, yes, he is. So Ramakrishna used to enjoy the conversation between these two people and then kept them engaged in discussion. Okay? Now it continued, and that day there was a long discussion. So Girish Ghosh suddenly looked at Dr. Sarkar and said, Dr. Sarkar, you have already spent 3-4 hours here. What about your patients? Then Dr. Sarkar responded, well, my practice and my patients, I shall lose everything on account of your Paramahamsa. This Ramakrishna, he is a simple person, but he forgets his other responsibilities. And he says, I am losing my money, business, because if I go, the doctor has been called, it's an emergency to go. And the day I cannot go, I cannot ignore, I go to the next day. But I don't take any money. He's a very honest person. So I'm losing my money also. So everything is gone. This Paramahamsa has taken away my everything, etc. See how his mind is getting absorbed. And then Ramakrishna, very unique, Ramakrishna then said, listening to this, all laughed. And then doctor, when he said, my practice and patience, I shall lose everything on account of your Paramahamsa. And then after that laugh, then Ramakrishna said, very wonderful statement. He said, quote, there is a river called Karma Nasha. See, again we are talking to that. The Nasha that destroys the karma, Karma Nasha, destroyer of duties. It is very dangerous to dive into that river. Why? If a man plunges into its waters, he cannot perform any more actions, worldly actions. it puts to an end to his duties. What a tremendous spiritual message is here. From this simple statement, we can find Dr. Sarkar was a very well-established doctor, very renowned doctor of India of that time period. He is a moneyed person, he has knowledge, he is an honest person, but he does not believe in God incarnation and all these things. But wonderful is that how Ramakrishna captivated his mind, not with any charm, not with any miracle, but by simple, pure, innocent, childlike life, going into ecstasy without any pretense, coming down into the plane, always full of joy and bliss, all saturated in peace and happiness. That attracted this person so deeply that he coming to see the patient, it become, patient is secondary. Major thing is that how to be in his company. Another incident we find in the Gospel of Ramakrishna, that M used to go and report about Sri Ramakrishna's health condition every day from the Kashipur Garden House. So once he went and he said, how is he? And then he remarked, he has taken away my sleep also. From early morning, 3 o'clock, I am thinking of him only. See? See how his mind is going to Sri Ramakrishna and how that person is getting transformed unconsciously. Karma, which was sakama, he is losing his business. Nishkama, he is going to see the patients, but seeing the patients, not taking any money. The whole philosophy is changing in his life. First he was a good doctor, money making, and he is very proud of his own thing. But his pride, ego is being crushed day by day, seeing the unique life of Sri Ramakrishna. So this is the way he is plunging gradually into that. And Sri Ramakrishna mentioned this karmanasa word about the river, mentioning that this is the river. You drown, you plunge into Ramakrishna. Then this no more karma will bind. That's why Ramakrishna's own word, if a man plunges into its water, he cannot perform any more action. He is going to the extreme. Not only he will be doing charitable activity, it will also drop. Given the example of Ramakrishna, when a baby is born, but before that, when the baby comes in the mother's womb, her mother-in-law still does not reduce the activity level. And it continues. As that develops, the child develops in the mother's womb, the work is reduced. Karma is negating nasa. Karma is getting reduced. And when the baby is to be born, then mother-in-law, who is very hard taskmaster, she withdraws all duties from her. Only gives the responsibility to nurture the baby. That is with God. And then we live with God. And no karma. Ramakrishna did not do any job or any duty after his illumination and experience. Not necessary. But all this karma, even sadhana is not necessary. Meditation is not necessary. Meditation will meditate him. Japa is not necessary. Japa will be happy to be with him all the time. That's why he does not do anything. His karma will be over. Total nasa, destruction of the karma. Leading one, that's why Ramakrishna is to live in that ecstatic mood all the time. So first state was Ramakrishna used to attract the devotees. This human pursuit, all of us, in the world, all our human pursuit is to reach that freedom we are seeking for. That freedom in physical plane, in emotional plane, in intellectual plane, everywhere. Everyone wants freedom. No one wants to be controlled by others, physically, mentally, emotionally, intellectually. So, this is an urge. That's why there is a beautiful song of Rabindranath Tagore. And he sings there. I am reading the English part. I can sing one line. Kabe ami bahir holem tomari gan ge se to ajke noy ভুলে গেছি কবে থেকে আসছি তোমায় চেয়ে সে তো আজকে নয় সে আজকে নয় How long have I been wandering around singing your songs? It's not just today. No, not just today. I have forgotten how long I have been searching for you. It's not just today. Like the waterfall, that gushes forth, not knowing for whom. So I rush into the stream of life in search of you. I have called you by so many names and drawn so many pictures of you. Joyfully I have gone in search of you without knowing where you live, as the flower lies awake, waiting for the sun, not knowing how long the night will last, so my heart waits in hope of your arrival. How long have I been wandering around singing your song? It's not just today. No, not just today. This beautiful Rabindranath Tagore has given an expression of our search. Actually, from our state of ignorance to the state of enlightenment, we are searching for something and searching what will be more freedom, which will bring more joy, more peace, more freedom. So this is the search going on. And when we reach, which an opportune moment comes, that Sri Ramakrishna or any incarnation, we come in touch with them, then that is a blessed moment in life. Because Ramakrishna said in another place, Avatar, when the avatar comes, that's a special time. Avatar, incarnation comes, that's a special time. When that's an easier time, it is like a flow, you just flow. There is a song, the song, that is the Utleche Prem Paravar. We sing, in India we sing when we have birthday celebration of Ramakrishna, which is coming soon on the 14th of this month. He used to say, there is an upheaval of waves of bliss. The river has come out of his bounds and is flowing to the Brahmananda Sagar, in the ocean of Brahman. That is the pure Ganga flowing. Just come. Rama Krishna Puta Ganga Brahmananda Sagore Dhai Eso chute eso ke acho manabo Sushka Kantha Pipashai. You who are thirsty, your throat is parching, then come, here is a flow of Ganga going on. Just come and dive and soothe yourself. Ramakrishna Puta Ganga. So this is when this river flows close by, then what happens? Anyone can take advantage of that. But when the avatar comes, that is a special time, advantageous for ordinary human beings like us, to reach the highest goal even without much effort. It is like you flow in the stream. Just you float in the stream. You may not have to do much. That's why Ramakrishna said, if anyone comes one step towards me, I go 10 steps towards him. Because his flow is going on. And you just swim one stroke and you go 10 times the speed. When the cross current is there, you may strike your one stroke to go. You'll be pulled back 10 steps down. That's why he said, those will be liberated now. This is a good time. All will liberate. All will be liberated. This is the auspicious time. It is said, Ramakrishna said, except in bas and ghas, meaning worthless. Those who are worthless like grass, has no element in their heart. Or bas means the bamboo, who has nothing but hollow inside and looks like big bamboo, but inside is all hollow. So hollow people who have no spiritual yearning or search for freedom, those types of people will have to wait for long. But this is the bridge of Malaya. A wonderful bridge of Malaya is now available. Just to have that will bring spiritual enlightenment easy. So this is the time. And we find that Sri Ramakrishna first attract the bound souls to him, and by that way he pulls the mind, destroying their karma, and the karma which is the latent desires. Karma comes because of our desire. So desire, the latent, karma destroying means latent desires are also destroying. And then someone meditating or thinking about the philosophy of Sri Ramakrishna and the purpose of his advent, elevating their minds to God, intoxicated mood, looking at Ramakrishna who is in ecstasy, who is singing, even reading the gospel, or even thinking something. You cannot find in Ramakrishna anything worldly. It is all talking about God, the divine, the absolute bliss, nothing there of world. So there is no karma. Karma is in this world. Akarma is called Brahman. Brahman is called akarma. When karma is destroyed, you reach a state which is called akarma. And that's why Gita says, karmani akarma ja pashet, akarmani cha karma ja. Those who can see the Brahman, the absolute, non-action, inaction, in all activity. And in all activity sees that inaction, both ways. In the inaction sees these all actions going on, Brahman and the waves, and through the wave he sees the ocean. So this is called Gita's idea. So karma nasha. So they embark them to the land of freedom then. That karma vasana, the desires go away, because we desire for what? Why we desire? We desire to get joy. We desire to get bliss, unending bliss. Then this search, as I sang the song of Tagore, that we are all searching and searching and searching. When will we get, we do not know. Unless we get it, our journey will not stop. We will never be satisfied. Even going to heaven, Hindu idea is not good to go to heaven. You can go, enjoy some time, but it's not good. It delays your journey because you get some time lost there in fun, making fun. As if you are driving the car to reach certain destination, and on the exit you find there is a fine dancing, singing, or fine festivity going on, and you detract and get into it, and then enjoy that fun. Okay, no problem, but delay in the ending your journey. You finish that experience and found, I didn't get that joy, what I expected. In the world we cannot get what we expect. Nothing can give absolute joy. We have to go to the karma nasa state. Destruction of karma means desirelessness will come. But we find this time, as we are saying, that why it is a blessed moment, because here Ramakrishna, or the latest incarnation we are talking about Ramakrishna, it applies to all the incarnations, Christ, Buddhas, Ramas, Krishnas, and this latest model is Ramakrishna. So there we find that we are not searching for him much, but he is crying for having us with him. We never understood that. Noren and Rakhal, they didn't understand at the beginning. that Ramakrishna is equally crying for them. Sri Ramakrishna is telling one day, it's a very, very emotional thing, that he is asking, he has come down, as I started my discussion today, the infinite glacier in the top of the Himalayas, in the highest dizzy heights of Himalayas. Ordinary people cannot go. But that infinite dizzy height of spirituality wanted to come down in the flow of Ganga and touching every nooks and corners, every person. How many people can come? Sri Ramakrishna is like that. One day, Sri Ramakrishna is talking to Hajra. Well, can you tell me, Ramakrishna saying, quote, well, can you tell me why I feel so much anxious for all these and think about what one has realized? Now, well, can you tell me why I feel so much anxious for all these boys and think about what one has realized and another has not, so on? They are mere school boys. They are penniless. They have not the means of offering me a pice's worth of sugar palm. Why do I still feel so very anxious for them? If anyone does not visit this place, he is saying not me, because he cannot say me, I is gone. So he says, if anyone does not visit this place even for 2 days, my heart immediately feels extremely restless to see him and have news of him. Why is so? Could you understand how much God himself is crying for the devotees, pure-hearted souls, to come, to dig deep into the ocean of the spirituality, what Sri Ramakrishna has acquired. He is God, forget that. He has in his own sadhana acquired that infinite joy and infinite blessedness. Can this crying, that's why I used to cry on the music tower of Dakshineshwar. Come, come, I am tired, I cannot wait for... and every day, and I used to cry to Mother, Mother, you said someone will come? Holy Mother. Holy Mother was not interested first in giving initiation. But when Ramakrishna passed away, then Ramakrishna said, you have to do more, what I have done. And Holy Mother is sitting there and no one came for initiation. It is not like ordinary initiation, like ordinary we take. There's a mantra in the ear. This initiation means giving the entire sin to be taken away. And she's waiting to take away other sins. And says, oh Ramakrishna, oh Thakur, you told that someone will come, but the whole day is over, no one has come. She's crying as it were, why not some sinful person come to me to give their sin? I will liberate them. Could you think about that? This is the karma nasha. They are searching for us. We are not searching much. They are searching. That's why 1 step, 10 steps can be felt in there. Then, after having this question, again Sri Ramakrishna himself responding. The reason is this: these are all pure in heart. Lust and gold have not yet touched them. If they apply their minds to God, they will be able to realize Him. Sri Ramakrishna's love, look at that. He is crying for that. Let them come, and their pure soul, they will realize God. As if they realize God, what is your business? If someone does not realize, what is your business? What is my business? If someone becomes rich or someone becomes poor, we are Brahmacharis. We say, oh, you okay, it is his karma. But it is Ramakrishna. He has a bounden responsibility, as it were, taken upon his own shoulder and saying, no, they are pure soul, they will be liberated easily, and I am waiting for them. No? Sri Ramakrishna's love was unbounded, that was soulless. He was God in human form. His whole life, all the spiritual practices, experiences, every moment of his suffering even in the throat cancer, all were for the redemption of all and the good of humankind. To show this unbounded love was his advent, that God's love is limited. So we learn God's love is unlimited, not conditional, because they don't judge what we are. They accept us as it is. That's called the Holy Mother's beauty, a special beauty. Holy Mother accepted the children on their condition. Swami Buddhananda used to say this beautifully. We accept someone on my condition. I love you so much when you fulfill my conditions. If you don't do, let me see how many days I can tolerate you. That's a human relationship. But here Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, they don't consider my condition. I'm a wretched guy. He will accept it. You are a holy man, he will accept, or she will accept. That is the greatness of this incarnation. That's why I am destroyer of karma. That's Holy Mother, Ramakrishna, they are destroyers of karma. And they lead us to the land of freedom with no intention for their own. His love, Ramakrishna's love, flows for all, high and low, good and bad. Maybe a little more for the lowly more. And Sri Ramakrishna also used a beautiful word. I think that is very consoling to us. He said, Je ekbaro bhagavanke sarol prane dekheche. If anyone have called upon God with simple heart once in lifetime, look at that emphasis. If anyone has called upon God in a very simple emotion, simple heart, at least once even, he will have to come to here. Ekhane aste hobe. That's a beautiful word. Again, we are not making a cult. Please remember, Ramakrishna is not a cult. Ekhane aste hobe bola hocche, that means they will have to come to me, but or here, or in Vedanta society. It's not the Vedanta society building to come. It is not the temple to come. It is not the man Ramakrishna to come. The principle for which he stands. It is the Ramakrishna, the principle, as I again and again emphasizing the infinite ocean of, in the highest peak, that is called Brahman, manifested in the form of Ramakrishna, and Ramakrishna, the embodiment of love, compassion, holiness, purity, joy, blessings, ecstasy. That is the Ramakrishna. He's saying, we'll have to come here. That means if we are sincere, we will have to go that spiritual truth where there is nothing, no world. In Ramakrishna there is no world. As I said, go to read the whole gospel. You will not find anywhere world. It is always God, God, God. God the transcendental, God the form, God in Saguna, God in Nirguna, God is in the tree, God is in the plant. Everywhere is God, 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 God. That is the freedom Sri Ramakrishna came. Then, and that's why Sri Ramakrishna used to cry saying, oh, ye come, where are you? I cannot come stay without seeing you. And she's weeping for the pure-hearted souls. But the devotees, his cancer, we know the cancer was because of the taking the sins of our devotees like Girish and others. And Sri Ramakrishna's compassion is not ended when he left his body. Though he has created during the, people say, why he had the cancer? It is a pretense. Why? Because that way, those who, miracle mongering people, they will live. Those who love genuine Sri Ramakrishna as God manifested and suffered for human being to redeem us, those will be remaining. They are the inner circle people. Other circle will be outer circle. Many people came. So, inner circle became more intimate. That is the time when they can talk to Ramakrishna, serve Ramakrishna one-on-one. And then took charge of the service of the Ramakrishna's body, being very close to him, observing his experiences, ecstasies, DNA, day and night, what is going on. And when he is leaving his body, he called Vivekananda, no? It is not ended. This Ganga is flowing. He ended, he said, whatever I have, touching Naren, and he went into ecstasy. And he said, and then tears were rolling down in the eyes of the, it's very emotional scene, Ramakrishna. And he said, oh Naren, whatever I have, all my spiritual treasure, wealth, I have given you. I have become a fakir. I may become a penniless beggar. That meaning that I bestow everything of my spiritual sadhana. What? With this power, you will do great good to the world. This is Ramakrishna. It is not sectarian or dogmatic, a particular place where we are thinking of Ramakrishna, we are preaching Ramakrishna in place of Christ, in place of, no. It is the principle which came down as Christ, as Krishna, as Rama. This time Ramakrishna, the current force is working still through Ramakrishna, Mother, Swami Vivekananda, their children, their disciples, and that same spiritual. And also, he offered this and told to Naren that I am bestowing all the responsibility for the other monastic brothers, monastic children. You are most intelligent among them and most powerful. You love them very dearly and see that they don't go back home. And you can stay at a time, at a place and do spiritual practices and arrange for that. Latu says, when I saw Ramakrishna at that fag end, there was no suffering in him. At one time, his body would be such that whole body will be having goosebumps and all the hairs will stand erect. I saw. I have seen this, that how he used to live in Ananda. That is Ramakrishna. That we have to plunge there. Then this karma will be going away. And we find that he went to free himself from egoism. That's why he has no ego. When you think of Ramakrishna, what you will get? You see, you are becoming egoless. Are you becoming egoless? Then you have come to Ramakrishna. If you are not, you are I am a monk, I am a spiritual person, then it is not Ramakrishna. You are something else. They have a place in the world. Everyone has a place in the world, but not Ramakrishna. Egoless. Pandit Sasadar came to Albert Hall to give lecture on Hinduism and Hindu religious practices from the perspective of Western science. Packed with people. Everybody admitted him. Sri Ramakrishna, hearing this, wanted to see the Pandit. And Pandit is not coming. Ramakrishna is rushing to the Pandit. It is called unbounded love of Ramakrishna. To redeem everyone. He is a Pandit. And then Sri Ramakrishna, hearing this, wanted to see the Pandit. Pandit came to Kali temple one day and on his way to give a talk at Alam Bazar and paid a visit to Sri Ramakrishna. Pandit's second trip at Balaram Bose's house, and then seeing Ramakrishna, looking at his ecstasies and experiences, then Pandit Sasadar, he said, dissolved in tears. Pandit prayed to him, Sri Ramakrishna, with folded palms, quote, "My heart has dried up by discussing philosophy. Please endow me with devotion." Master in ecstasy touched the Pandit's chest that day. This is the point. This is Ramakrishna Ganga. This is the thing, Karmanasha. He went to see. No one invited him. But he went to, oh, Sasadar, Pandit, Sasadar, great scholar. I'll go to see him. No ego. I am a Bhavatar. How do I care? How much ego we have? I am such kind. Shall I go to him? Let him come to me. And see the Ramakrishna. He unwantedly went there and that attracted this Pandit. And Pandit came for some other business near Dakshineshwar and came to Ramakrishna. And seeing Ramakrishna second time, and his ecstasy, his personality, his egolessness, he cried out, I am full of intellect. Only intellectually, philosophically, I am very strong. But I am dry-hearted. Please do something. And Sri Ramakrishna instantly touched him. And Master, in ecstasy, touched the Pandit's chest that day. And he got transformed. Ishan, he used to live in Calcutta, in Tanzania. He was more charitable person than Vidyasagar. So he was equally devoted to japa, spiritual practice. He saw him sunrise and sunset at Dakshineshwar. He used to come. At Dakshineshwar one day, Ishan saluted our master. Sri Ramakrishna went to ecstasy. Placed his foot on Ishan's head. My God. What type of behavior? He just came to see him. The Pandit, that is great, Ishan is also a great Pandit. Also he is a spiritual person doing japa, meditation, so many years. And he put Ramakrishna in this ecstatic mood, put his feet on the head of this Ishan. And then he came down and said, regaining normal consciousness, the master said to Ishan, "Oh Brahmin, dive deep. And his life was transformed. Dive deep, we do japa. We put big japa beads over our neck to show that I am a japa person. Matted lock also, I am a spiritual person. But see, Ramakrishna saying, touching in ecstasy, give what he is to give, at the same time say, dive deep. Master at Ishan's hearing Sasodhar is the neighborhood, went to see him. Sri Ramakrishna said, one should have authority, a badge for the mother, otherwise it brings ruin to the speaker. Sasodhar gave up preaching. See, Ramakrishna, illiterate person, talking to Sasodhar, the renowned scholar of the time in India, and he said, getting the touch of Ramakrishna, he is advising, I get the badge first. That means command from the Divine Mother. Dive deep, experience that, and then you speak. Then Sasodhar gave up practicing a little later and went on Kamakya for all spiritual activities. So how Ramakrishna is running after the devotees, no? And as a result, we see that devotees are getting spiritual illumination. So here, what to think about that? Sri Ramakrishna said, another beautiful word Sri Ramakrishna said, is clear. I am a river which destroys the karma, he has said. And I am the land of freedom. How audacious. A man will say, I am the land of freedom. Because his eye is not there. His eye is the cosmic eye. Whenever he is saying, even Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda said in the whole Gita, when Sri Krishna says, I, it is not the man Ramakrishna, it is not the king Krishna, it is not the covered boy Krishna, it is the Satchidananda. Here is Ramakrishna, the same. So he said, Ramakrishna said, beautiful. He said that, as I mentioned before, that the person's mind will be gradually transformed into divine mood, and his all attachment and karma, worldly attitude will dissolve and gradually get the quality. What quality you will get? That we have to know. What quality we will get if you think of Ramakrishna. If you want to plunge in Ramakrishna river, what is that? What is that river? Here he says, I tell you, Sri Ramakrishna said in one place, I swear to you, whosoever will think on me, see the word, very powerful word, whosoever will think on me shall inherit my wealth, even as a son inherits his father's wealth. But what is my wealth? We have bank balance? Building 20 buildings? Is that the Ramakrishna's wealth? Ramakrishna says, Jnana, Bhakti, Viveka, Vairagya, Shanti, Sukha, Prema, Samadhi. These are 8 he has mentioned are my wealth. What is Jnana? Discriminative faculty, knowledge. Bhakti, devotion. Viveka, discrimination. Vairagya, throw away which is a barrier to your spiritual growth. Prema, Shanti, peace. Always remain in peace. Who is restless? Who wants things in the world? Who wants name, fame, power, position, money, wealth? Fighting with each other when comes? Jealousy. Where do they come? When my ego is stronger than other and I have to do something, grab something, there is competition. But it is Shanti, peace. Sukha, happiness. Prema, unconditional love for everyone, and ultimately Samadhi. So he has given 8 characteristics which is called Ramakrishna. So we will have to, this is in the Srimad Darashan, and Sri Ramakrishna swears, I swear to you, whosoever will think on me shall inherit my wealth, even as a son inherits his father's wealth. And these are what we will inherit if you think of Ramakrishna. All these qualities. Is it happening? Then we are dipping. Otherwise, Ramakrishna's example. What happens? The sinful person goes to take a dip into the what? Into the river. And as soon as he comes out, all the sins again jump on his head because they are waiting on the trees on the bank of the Ganga. So we again come back and become the same old guy. We have to go to him to redeem, to get redeemed. So I am just end with one story, very small story, because we have known the greatness of Sri Ramakrishna, and you can find more examples are there. I have no time to do that. But one day I was meeting with one gentleman. He was Swami Shivananda disciple. He was a carpenter. Not much educated, he knows very carpentry work, and it was started in our industrial school, started by Swami Vivekananda, with the idea to help the poor people of our country to get education and they can survive their needs. So he was the teacher, he was a good carpenter. But he was a very poor guy, and also under the force of family, because he wanted some children to be. So he married 2 wives, and after initiation with Shivananda Swami, he used to feel that, oh my God, my spiritual life is doomed. I am to take care of the 2 wives, and day and night I am a householder. Not only one family, my two families I maintain, and day and night going on. And then one day he went to Mahapurush Maharaj and saluted Maharaj. What will happen to me? I am married this way. My mind is in the world. What shall it happen? Then he said, oh, don't worry. You bring your wives. I will take away all the desires from their mind. I will take away all the desires of their mind. I see. It is Mahapurush Maharaj saying. And he told me, he was an old man, he was telling Swami, when Mahapurush Maharaj took away everything from me, I lived. I never have any desire for any enjoyment. See, living a spiritual life. And what is great spirituality I has just given, he is walking with me in the street. There was a drain. In India, drain, you know, dirty drain is there, and flies are rotating. And one fly was, and then he said, you know, here is the same consciousness. This is the same. I was astounded. After so many years, when I think of that story, my God, what Mahapurush Maharaj gave. If Mahapurush Maharaj gives this, what Ramakrishna gives. So he is Karmanasha, he is French territory, in French area where he will take the land of freedom. So let us worship that Ramakrishna and dip and plunge into that river of Sri Ramakrishna, where he says, he's just saying, I swear, and that whatever, that is the belief that it will happen. we pray to him for his grace and blessings. This 14th is his birthday. On this occasion, I pray for everyone for his blessings upon us. Okay. Question is here? No. Announcement or for the way. Let me conclude this, then we'll go for question answer. This with a prayer to Sri Ramakrishna. Om Vitaritum Avatirnam Jnana Bhakti Prashanti Pranaya Golita Chittam Jiva Dukha Sahisnum Drita Sahaja Samadhing Chinmayang Komalangang Bimala Paramahangsang Ramakrishnang Bhajama. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We worship the stainless Paramahansa Sri Ramakrishna, who took human birth to spread knowledge, devotion and peace, whose heart melted with love, and who could not bear the suffering of mankind, whose mind naturally dwelled in the highest state of meditation, and who, though possessing a tender human body, is the embodiment of pure consciousness. Om. Peace, peace, peace be unto us all.
Questions? From Avu, how can one, still being in a worldly life, create devotion and love for Thakur?
That is the subject of whole spiritual journey. Yes, we have to pray that. How can I do, Thakur, you are there in my heart. In a simple language, we can really say that, yes, you are in my heart. I have heard. Ramakrishna taught that. Even Mahapurush Maharaj taught us that you go and tell Sri Ramakrishna that one of your son has told me to call upon you and tell you that you do this for me. This is a simple faith. We should have to take that advantage of that. But to believe that Sri Ramakrishna is not a photograph, it is not a statue, but is a reality, and he has come for all this great purpose, to redeem us only. As we have discussed today, we are thinking we love God, but here we got the idea, he loves us more. He is running from door to door and asking them to come. See, one boy comes to Ramakrishna, you read the gospel, he is after him. He does not come, he inquires, where are you? Similarly, now it will happen. If one appeared before him and actually don't come, he will inquire about us. And he does that in several ways, Look at that. That boy came and stayed for some days here. And for some reason he has to go away. But what happening? Is it not Ramakrishna calling him? Hey, how are you? Where are you? Why don't you see? We are worried about you. This, that. Is it not Ramakrishna? Is it we doing? So this is the point. We have to believe that he is there. And also have to pray and also do or see our karma. As you know, 4 yogas are there. Meditation, prayer, all doing karma. Always not always to do in a perfect spirit. How to do karma, it is doing for you. Make my heart pure, I will be unselfish. Like all these qualities we have to follow.
Martha asks, where in the scriptures can I find the 8 qualities so I can review them?
Oh, that 8 qualities we just mentioned, it is where? It is in the, I have to find out the exact page, but you can send that quotation. But what we got it today?
Oh, the inheriting the wealth. It's from M, the Apostle and the Evangelist. But which volume, I can't remember now. And it's in Bengali, it's called Srimad Darshan. These are the conversations of M, the recorder of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. He also had his recorder of his conversations, Swami Nityatmananda, who recorded many conversations of M and put them in this book, Srimad Darshan, translated into English as M, the Apostle and the Evangelist.
And it is so many volumes, about 13 or 12, 13 volumes. So you have to find out where, in which place is there. It is there. But anyhow, if you want to know what are the 8, Jnana, Bhakti, Viveka, Vairagya, Shanti, Sukha, Premo, Samadhi. Bas. If you can remember, or you can then call us, then we can give you the 8, or send you the line. 8 qualities. Thank you.
Kushal asks, why did Ramakrishna marry Saradama? Why did he not remain single and become a sannyasi?
Yes, because the avatara does not come for the sannyasis only. Avatara comes for the people who are in the world. Avatara is an example how to live in the world, how to be with wife, but can be made a spiritual marriage, how to live, to see the respect and devotion for each other. This is very important. In most of the family, husband and wife are fighting with each other with minor things and creating dissension. Not only that, how much torture and things are going on. Where is deep respect and love for it? Why to see in the wife the God, the Atman, that ideal? Who will show us? Ramakrishna, Holy Mother said, Ramakrishna never even hit me with a flower. What to talk about strong word or any other harshness? That is the ideal. Who will show this ideal? The world wants to learn something and to be in peace. First bring the peace in your family, husband and wife. And we are all come from mom and dad. And that is the world goes on in this way. How the world can be made spiritual by spiritual people. That's why Sri Ramakrishna came, married, showed an ideal life, lived in the same bed, not for merrymaking, but for always being in ecstasy, higher joy. No one saying that merrymaking is bad, but merrymaking joy is one dot. And there is a higher joy. Why I shall get 1 penny if I can get $1, $100, $1,000, $1 million? So that is the thing Ramakrishna came to show us. Thank you.
Chandana asks, could you please give us the name of Swami Turiyananda's book from where you were reading?
That is, you have to go to the Udbodhan, old Udbodhan, very, very old Udbodhan. It is number 67 or what?
37.
37. So you can go to find the Udbodhan, original Udbodhan in number 37. It is in July, August session of Bengali 1342 year. So there you will find the reference.
question from Kumar. I am curious to know, did Sri Ramakrishna give the name Swami Vivekananda to Narendra?
Ramakrishna gave the name to Vivekananda? Oh, no. Vivekananda took it for himself, because Ramakrishna, when he passed away, he used to call him Naren, Rakhal, all these things. But afterwards, Swami Vivekananda actually organized everything, and he also gave the name on behalf of Ramakrishna. Just we have discussed today. Ramakrishna authorized Vivekananda to take charge of all the other young boys who have gathered around Sri Ramakrishna. And he took care of them. He organized the monastic order according to all intention of Swami Sri Ramakrishna. So it is Vivekananda himself took his name. He had 2-3 names, but this is the name. That time he was hiding himself. That's why he used to change his name so that others don't bother him. Because he was in wandering days, want to be in solitude and meditating, but the other brother monks will disturb. So he changed his name, Satchidananda and other names, and ultimately Vivekananda remained. Okay.
Ashok, how to feel the principle Ramakrishna everywhere and every time?
How to?
Feel the principle.
Feel the principle. It is how to feel the principle of Ramakrishna. It is a practice also. This whole world is, according to Vedanta, we say the whole world is pulsating with consciousness. So it can be, it is to be with eyes open when we go around, then we'll have to see how the tree is growing, how the leaf is coming. Where is the energy behind? It is the prana. What is behind the prana? It is the energy. What is the energy behind the energy? That is the Brahman consciousness. So, therefore, it is a practice to, in another word, Brother Lawrence's book, Practice of the Presence of God, it is the same idea that when we are walking, moving, we have to keep one part of our mind in that consciousness, that it is all divine. It is I am seeing in the form of plant, tree, human being, ants, animals, but it is behind is the consciousness. So we have to practice that. Our sweet name is Ramakrishna, and in a Vedantic term, we'll say the presence of God, the divine, the Lord, consciousness, whatever name you want to give. Okay.
There was a question submitted before the talk began from Sachin. Please explain dharma. Bad karma means adharmic?
Dharma means which holds, no? Dharma, dridhatu man, which holds us. You are manus, we are human being. So what makes us special rather than animal? That's a man. What is manliness? Goodness, honesty, sincerity, purity, love. What is amanus, we call? It's devilish. Or amanus means not fitted to the human society or human nature. That is the lower trains of mind, lower types of thinking, lower types of activity. So Swami Vivekananda said that to M, the writer of the Gospel, that you were Chilen Guru, you are like an animal, like a cow, have become man, human, now you will be God. So this is the upward journey. So we are born in our innate tendencies, lower tendencies. We have to know that we are man. We have some higher divine qualities to develop. And to develop those qualities gradually will lead us to human nature. Human nature will be uplifted to the divine nature. That's why we say, think of Jnana, Viveka. The 8 points just we have mentioned. We cultivate those things. Automatically it will lift us from one level to the other. Okay? Done? Thank you all for putting... Yeah.
What was the miracle that Swami Sarvadevananda did for this particular, the miracle that he did for his disciple? What was it? What kind of a miracle did he do for him?
Oh, that means what I said when they went, Swami Shivananda's story I told, and you are asking about Shivananda's story, what miracle he did to take away the negative tendencies. Yeah, that is power of spirituality. Spirituality is such a power, it can suck. Say, Swami Brahmananda sitting, and you cannot think any evil thought, even in his presence. That story is also there. There one brahmachari was testing whether he can do bad thoughts, bring bad thoughts. And he tried, but his mind is not going to the lower thought. So this is the same thing. Ramakrishna, Mahapurush Maharaj is totally saturated with Ramakrishna and divinity. And when he saw the divine and took away, means all the little darkness is gone, is blown away. It's a big power. If you are in front of a big blower, what will happen? Your shot will run away. Our clothes sometimes run. If it's a heavy blow, in storm, what happens? When storm, we are going in a sudden, the storm comes, this chadar will fly away. So similarly, those will fly away, scene will fly away. They cannot stay in front of them. I think that type of thing they have done. I do not know what can, this is my assumption.
One more question has come from Koinur. How can reading holy books be an effective satsanga when we don't get the company of Swamijis on a regular basis? Any advice, Maharaj?
I think that's, you have, Koinur, you have given the answer itself. Yeah, satsanga means to keep the mind in holy thought. So satsanga, if you get a holy man really and get the inspiration and talk, spiritual talks, if it is best, if you get. If you don't get, then books are the next best. You read gospel, you will get this holy company. What more holy company? Even in holy company, if you talk to a man, a sadhu, there may come some worldly talk. But when you read gospel, you cannot find one worldly talk. You read Upanishad, you cannot find any worldly talk. You'll be frustrated. So similarly, that's not a less sadhu sangha. It is a holy sangha is also reading. That's why we should practice. We should try our japa meditation and also study books, spiritual text. Okay, thank you all. Jai Ma. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.